defense acquisition goes through a tedious process, and so many years pass until the defense forces get what they want. So did S-400 Triumph system from Russia. It is like raising a request, justifying why they need it, and then look for the options in the market. See what we have as a budget, and then look at how we are going to buy. Today, we will be discussing the induction of the much talked about S-400 Triumph, aka Sudarshan Chakra of the Indian Defense Forces. To make it happen, there was one man who definitely had to be credited: Manohar Parrikar. Though the final signing of the S-400 procurement happened under then Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, it was Manohar Parrikar, the former Defense Minister of India, who laid the foundation for the S-400 deal and held firm against growing US pressure. Parrikar, known for his pragmatic and national interest first approach, saw the S-400 as critical to India's air defense modernization. He emphasized strategic autonomy, underscoring that India would not allow foreign powers to dictate its defense procurements. Under his tenure, the groundwork was laid: technical evaluations, price discussions, and risk assessments, including how to manage fallout from US sanctions. How did this all happen? Let's start from the start. The induction of the S-400 Triumph air defense system into India's defense forces was a result of long-term strategic planning and assertive diplomacy, aimed at bolstering the country's air defense capabilities amid increasing regional threats. Around the late 2000s, India began assessing the vulnerability of its airspace to advanced threats, including ballistic missiles, stealth aircraft, and cruise missiles from neighboring adversaries. The Indian Air Force and Indian Army both recognized the need for an advanced long-range surface-to-air missile system that could provide multi-layered defense. The request for information for a long-range surface-to-air missile system was floated by the Indian Ministry of Defense at around 2010, calling for a system capable of detecting, tracking, and neutralizing aerial threats at ranges of over 400 kilometers. This request for information sparked interest from global defense companies offering systems like the US THAAD and PAC-3 Patriot, Israel's David's Sling, and Russia's S-300, and then the more advanced S-400 Triumph. India had long-standing defense ties with Russia, which included platforms like the MiG series fighters, Sukhoi Su-30 MKI, T-90 tanks, and more. When Russia showcased the S-400 Triumph system, a fourth-generation air defense missile system capable of engaging targets at 400 kilometers with high precision and the ability to track multiple targets, it piqued India's strategic interest. By 2015, India expressed formal interest in the S-400 during bilateral discussions with Russia. An intergovernmental agreement was signed in 2016 during the BRICS summit in Goa, where India confirmed its intent to purchase 5 S-400 regiments. The request for proposal was issued as part of a government-to-government deal, bypassing a competitive bidding process. The deal was valued at over $5 billion, making it one of India's most expensive defense acquisitions. Final negotiations took place over 2017-18, addressing pricing, delivery timelines, and local offsets. The contract was formally signed in October 2018 during Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India. The United States, under the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, that is CAATSA, a law passed in 2017 to deter countries from engaging in defense deals with Iran, North Korea, and Russia, warned India of potential economic sanctions if it proceeded with the S-400 deal. Washington argued that buying the S-400 could compromise the security of US-supplied defense equipment like the C-17 Globemaster, Apache helicopters, and P-8I surveillance aircraft. US officials, including former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary James Mattis, held multiple rounds of talks with their Indian counterparts, urging them to reconsider. Despite intense lobbying and veiled threats from the US, Manohar Parrikar stayed firm, reflecting its independent foreign policy stance. The S-400 deal became a symbol of India's strategic autonomy and willingness to make decisions aligned with its security needs rather than geopolitical pressures. Deliveries of the S-400 began in late 2021, and units have since been deployed in key regions, including near the China and Pakistan borders, providing India with a significant deterrent and defense capability. As tensions between India and Pakistan reached a boiling point, a wave of missiles and drones streaked across the night sky, targeting key Indian cities and military bases. But India's airspace held firm, shielded by a technological marvel: the S-400 surface-to-air missile defense system. The S-400, codenamed Sudarshan Chakra by the Indian Air Force, intercepted and neutralized dozens of incoming threats, saving lives and averting escalation. Each S-400 unit can simultaneously track 160 targets and engage 72, with missiles capable of striking threats up to 400 kilometers away and at altitudes up to 30 kilometers. Its rapid activation and mobility made it the backbone of India's air defense in this crisis. But this shield did not appear overnight. Its story begins near a decade earlier, with a visionary leader whose quiet determination changed India's military future, the late Manohar Parrikar. Born in Goa in 1955, Manohar Parrikar was an IIT Bombay alumnus known for its engineering acumen and integrity. As Defense Minister from 2014 to 2017, he quietly laid the groundwork for one of India's most powerful defense acquisitions. In 2016, while headlines focused elsewhere, Parrikar initiated a comprehensive review of India's air defense strategy. He pushed for a technical reassessment, personally engaging with scientists, military leaders, and engineers to evaluate the world's best systems. The findings were clear. The S-400's long-range coverage could make many planned short and medium-range missile purchases redundant, saving the exchequer nearly 49,300 crore rupees over the next decade. Parrikar convinced the Air Force that a layered defense anchored by the S-400 would offer unmatched value and protection. Parrikar moved swiftly. Despite a delicate global climate and looming US sanctions threat, he led negotiations with Russia, finalizing a $5.43 billion deal for 5 S-400 systems in 2016. His technical background and hands-on approach cut through bureaucratic delays. Parrikar's insistence on direct consultations and strategic clarity ensured India could move fast when the moment came. The S-400 is a game changer. Its radars can detect and track up to 300 targets at a distance of 600 kilometers. It can engage aircraft, drones, cruise missiles, and even ballistic missiles traveling at hypersonic speeds. With a setup time of just 5 minutes, its mobility and rapid response make it ideal for defending vast territories and critical assets. Today, as the S-400 stands guard over Indian skies, its presence is both a tactical edge and a psychological deterrent. In the 2025 crisis, it proved its worth, intercepting the majority of enemy projectiles and forcing adversaries to rethink their strategies. Manohar Parrikar's foresight, technical expertise, and unwavering commitment to India's security made this possible. The S-400 missile system shows Parrikar's vision and the nation's resolve. 3 squadrons of the S-400 have arrived in 2018 and have been deployed since, with more expected to be delivered this year. As India looks to the future, the legacy of Manohar Parrikar and the S400 will continue to safeguard its skies, standing as a silent, powerful guardian in times of peace and conflict.